Don't worry. All right, over here in the red, at the bottom right.
Liquid Hawk.
I don't know if you guys can hear the one fan that screamed hug in the audience. He actually does have a lot of supporters out here, though.
Certainly
International
does.
crowd in our studio today. In the blue, we have
InCa.
Very strong player.
yes, indeed.
Just played a very solid style that first game, Tasteless.
Yeah. Thank you, Intel and G-Skill and Coca-Cola, for supporting us. We love you. This is an interesting map for PvP because we haven't gotten to see a lot of PvP on these big, wide open maps. I mean, I suppose, let's say that we're to see a similar game to game one with InCa having identical unit control. Killing off that probe would even more so deny a 4-up gate rush.
Yeah.
You're so far apart.
It's a long walk.
Hey, look, there's Genro.
There's Genro.
Genro, pay attention, you're on TV. Genro's not paying attention.
Genro just being Genro. Well,
I don't even know if he knows he was on.
I don't know. The guy's been standing there with the camera for a while.
Because it's always fun when you get to see somebody who's put on camera and they have to make that face of like, well, this is what I would probably try to want to look like if I was on TV, and I'm not entirely sure if it's
That's
the right
not what I
face
do,
I'm supposed to make.
Tasteless. I
Yeah, but you're on TV
I make
all the
a
time.
pistol with my hand and I point at the camera. That's what I do. There's gifs of it.
Now, we have Gateway on the way. Probably will not see a Zealot. Well, no, we could see a Zealot. I mean, you might as well get one. I haven't played enough PvP on this map, I'm not sure, but...
Yeah. Well, so far, almost the exact same builds. Yep. In fact, pretty much the exact same builds right now. Just slightly different timings on things. Huck sell it a little bit quicker.
You know, I'm thinking back to that other game with the warp gates. I'm wondering if he should have sent 2 probes.
Normally you do just send the one, but you have to be very careful and guard it on your way up. You cannot lose it, and the thing is, not only did he lose it, he lost that stalker. He got out microed. Is what
what
it
I'm
comes down
thinking
to.
actually is what might actually be the best thing to do. I believe MC did this in previous games. Is when you scout, if your timing is good enough, you leave before the stalker comes out, and then you actually hide the probe somewhere else, so that no matter what.
Yeah, no, that can be a very good move, especially if your opponent is likely to use a robotics build, because then they're going to want to stop you with some stalkers out on the map. And if you hide that probe,
well, you know what else is interesting about it is that if they're playing standard PvP, they will send their Zealot and their stalker like we're seeing here. So if you see that, you just send the probe into their main and make a pylon right there like MC does.
True that. All right, we do have 4 warp gate versus 4 warp gate. InCa coming across the map. Huck in the middle of the map already making a pylon.
There you go, Huck.
Huck being very proactive with his pylons.
Huck gets an attaboy. Gets a pat on the back, a high
but
five.
that's going to get found, Tasteless.
Your probes are under attack.
He sees it. Oh,
InCa's gets
InCa's
killed.
pylon will be denied here. Actually, looks like they're both going to...
Yeah. Looks like both of them have denied each other's probes and pylons. Huck does end up losing a pylon, though, whereas InCa got to cancel. Huck running to the center of the map.
More gates on the way.
And Huck in a little bit of trouble there. Doesn't lose any real health on the stalker, though, so he is fine. Gas for Huck being made. InCa still looks like he wants to get this warp gate rush done.
You got to be pretty careful. I've had almost no success. If I don't get the first pylon set up, I mean, I've never really had that much success with continuing to do a 4 warp gate rush.
Well,
Unless
when
my opponent gets
the
too
map
greedy.
gets really funky.
Yeah.
When a ton of units are at the top of the ramp versus a ton of units at the bottom of the
Well,
ramp.
it's like you've been playing in the dark for too long at that point in time. But I don't know. I mean, let's see. Looks as though InCa's going to continue
In
on
fact,
with it. Huck has
He has
sentries.
2 sentries. I don't know about this. Good force fields.
Beautiful.
But InCa looks like he may have enough to weather this out. Those sentries not going to be very useful after those 2 force fields wear
Those
off.
2 force fields are a little bit too late.
And Huck looking like he's in a little bit of trouble. Huck
He's going to go for it again. I don't know if Huck should engage in this situation here.
Huck right now is chrono boosting some gateways. trying to get more and more units out. Right now, Huck has 3 Zealots, 4 Stalkers against 4 Zealots, 8 Stalkers.
He's continuing to get sentries. I feel like this is a Band-Aid solution. It's not actually going to work.
No, he's going to get overpowered here, Tasteless. For sure he's going to get overpowered.
I don't know if those 3 force fields are worth 1 Stalker.
Yeah, certainly not. Looks like Huck, he just... I think he thought, like you said, Tasteless, that the full gate rush was going to be done, but it was a wide ramp. Chose to get those sentries, and now he is paying for it. There's too many Stalkers in there. And bam, InCa. Looks like he is going to be able to take this, Tasteless.
When you have control like InCa, it's pretty tough. Well, actually, I mean, the Zealots are doing a considerable... What?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a lot of damage
out here, but they can be microed.
As the Stalker number for Huck falls, the Zealots so will fall, Tasteless.
Yeah. For a second there, though, I was like, wow, Huck's control is actually so good.
Yeah, he was orbiting the Zealots in very good locations, but again, it's actually all about the Stalkers. GG.
Yep.
And InCa takes the first match.
2-0.
First up and down player to return to Code S.
Are you going to do something, InCa? You keep looking at the camera. Nope, no ceremony. From InCa. It's mine.
There it is, Tasteless.
There it is.
He gets the Code S diamond.
The Code S Kyderan amulet.
You know what I think that they should do? Instead of going and have them grab a Code S medallion, I think that the player in the up and down match that doesn't make it in Code S, the player going down to Code A, should have to pick up the Code A urchin.
Oh.
Because then they're like, I don't want to pick that. No, pick it up. You're going to Code A. Pick up that urchin. And they're like, oh, I wish I had won.
And they pick it up, and I'm like, is it slimy? And he's like, yeah. Oh.
And it's all prickly, and you would not want to pick up a sea urchin, Tasteless.
No. I agree. Code A sea urchin.
I think that is something we should incorporate next season.
I think that's a great idea, Artosis.
It's like an additional punishment. Not only do you fall to Code A, but you have to pick up an urchin. You're like, ah!
All right, well, our next matchup is going to be Huck against Choya. Now, I do think Huck is the favorite in this, but
it's hard to say, man.
Choya, the thing about Choya, and this is actually what makes him a formidable opponent, is that his style is actually just out there enough. It's just, you know what it is? He doesn't play the game. If I were to coach somebody or teach them StarCraft 2, I would never encourage them to play the way Choya does.
Yeah.
Because
if I were to build upon that, if I were to commentate Choya, I would probably negatively reflect on many of the builds that he chooses.
Well, some of the builds he does are just so risky. Some of his builds are based off of his opponent making a mistake.
It really reflects his StarCraft 1 pro gamer style.
Yeah.
Where he was just a very kind of, okay, this is the all-in I'm going to do.
Yeah.
As Protoss in StarCraft 1.
And, I mean, it's important to be able to all-in.
Certainly.
It's important. You actually have to all-in every once in a while to mix up, your build so you're not that predictable. But the way he's played lately, when he seems to play more conventionally, it doesn't seem to work that well. So we'll see, though. Choya's a very good player. We're going to have a very short break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon at the GSL.